I'm Robin Griggs-Lawrence, and I'm the editor-in-chief of Natural Home magazine. And Natural Home has been around. We're celebrating our 10th anniversary this year. We launched Natural Home, in 1999. And when we did so, most people thought we were insane. Nobody was talking about green homes and green building in 1999. And so, we launched this thing and we thought, well, the world is ready. The world pretty much wasn't, and we learned a couple of things. I think the most important thing is the reinvention theme that's been going on today. And early on, we learned we had to reinvent ourselves. We were putting out this magazine that said, hey, everybody, the planet's going to burn if you don't live this way, and you better, do something about it right away. And, lo and behold, we weren't really bringing in the readers. And, and so we had to sit back and look at it and say, oh, you know what? How about we talk about how awesome it is to live in a natural home and how your kids aren't going to have asthma, you're not going to get sick, and, you're going to live in a beautiful, healthy, fabulous home, and everything's going to get better in your life. And that seemed to work, and that's actually, I think, maybe the only reason we're still around after 10 years. The other thing that's happened, though, in the last couple of years is suddenly we were, when we launched Natural Home in 1999, the only source for this information. You couldn't get it anywhere else. It was easy in a lot of ways. If, to reach those people, they had to come to us. That, as we all know, is no longer the case. You want to know about energy-efficient windows, you tip into Google, and you can learn pretty much anything you want and find them. So we've, again, had to keep reinventing and evolving to say, all right, how do we surprise? How do we delight? How do we use the forum that we have, which is a magazine, which is another interesting kind of dying breed situation to really leverage what we have and what we do best, which is great content. And so that's kind of in the next decade, that's going to be, I think, our big challenge, and what's going to make it really fun and exciting is we have all these new tools, and it's very, very exciting. But how do we kind of keep to the core of what we do best, which is, delight people with how wonderful it is to live in a natural home. And I think, we had breakfast this morning, this amazing group of panelists, and there was at the core, we talked a lot about that, is what are the ideas? What are the thoughts? Not so much, what are the technologies, or, we'll get into some of the nitty-gritty of that today, but, it wasn't so much like, hey, what are you guys doing on Facebook? It was, what at our core is going to make us stand out in this kind of crazy time that we're all doing our best to thrive in. One of the things that Wolf had kind of sent before, when we were exchanging ideas before the panel, was that it's going to be the change in the attitudes and the behaviors of people that are really, truly going to transform our world. And so what I'd like to give these guys the opportunity to talk about today is really the attitudes and how we're going to kind of lead that revolution in the attitudes and behaviors of people. I just want to end, before I introduce these guys, with a quote from a book that I just picked up to reread again, because I think it's really necessary in the current climate. It's a book called Pronoia, and it's by Rob Bresney, who's the guy who writes that crazy free will astrology column. And Pronoia is basically the philosophy that the world is conspiring to shower you with blessings. And what he says is, I'm curious, my fellow creators, since you and I are in charge of making a new world, not just breaking the old world, where do we begin? What stories do we want at the heart of our experiments? And what questions will be our oracles? And so that's what I'm hoping each of these guys is going to dig into today. These guys represent some of the most innovative thinking in their categories, if not in this industry altogether. And so the way we're going to format this, I'm going to do a really brief introduction. You guys have all read about them probably in the program, so I'm not going to bore you with tons of details, just some of the highlights that I found in my little Google searches on them. And then I'm going to let them talk for a minute about their thoughts on our topic of innovation and reinvention. So I'm going to start with Malika. Malika Chopra has launched Intent.com, which is a new website with content from both personal and global wellness experts. I love that in all of her bio information, she pretty much states that the most important part of her bio is that she's the mother of Tara and Leela, and they inspired her to write 100 Promises to My Baby and 100 Questions from Her Child. Malika started Intent to realize her personal intention to connect with others, and this ties right into our theme, by sharing and listening to each other's stories.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see so many people here, and it's such an honor to be with this whole group, actually, so thank you. So, as she said, actually, I'm the mom of 2 little girls. Tara is now 7.5, and Leela is 5. Intent has played a big role in my life, and I'll talk about that later. But what we're doing on intent.com is we've created a platform to help deliver content, resources, and connections to people based on who they aspire to be. So who do we aspire to be individually, as global citizens, as children of Mother Earth, and our connection to Spirit.
Thank you. And next I'd like to introduce Wolf Luge, who's the CEO and Managing Director of Hess Natur, which is an amazing clothing company that's just making its way over to the United States. A 30-year-old company that's been making organic clothing and natural clothing for longer than most of us even knew it existed, which is really exciting to see. Some of the highlights that I found in my Google search on Wolf is that some of his quotes I just love. He says, "I've always believed that what you do should be in harmony with who you are, and who we are and what we wear should be pure, respectful, and authentic." And Wolf lives with his 2 kids in kind of an idyllic village in Germany, and kind of lives the life. And he's also going to talk a lot. They have some wonderful partnerships and collaborations and different kind of charitable work that they've been doing as a part of the company, and really as a part of the company's mission for a long time.
Okay, thank you, Robin, for the introduction. I'm happy to be here. I was here last year, and many things changed in the last 12 months. I'm representing Hess Natur. Hess Natur is a leading European organic fashion company. We are based in Germany. As Robin told, we have a long history. We were founded in 1976 by Heinz Hess. Heinz Hess was one of the German environmentalist pioneers. And in 1976, he had a really need. He had a small baby son, and he couldn't buy any natural products as baby onesies, overalls, and pajamas, and so on. And so what he did was really unusual for a private person. He tried to source by himself. So he went to the southern part of Germany, to Austria, Switzerland, and he made it. So other friends came along, visiting him, looking at the baby. He said, "Okay, what's this baby wearing?" "Oh, that's my baby onesie I sourced by myself." "Okay, I would like to have this too." Then the friends came along, the neighbors came along, and so he started the business in the garage. That's more an American story, not a German story. And nowadays we have a $100 million business in Europe. We have 300 employees. We sell via e-commerce, catalog, and retail. And we are known over these 30 years as a company which is the most consequent in every step of the textile chain, in ecological reasons and in social standards too. So we are certified by the Verwehr Foundation for our social standards, and we give our customers a whole transparency of the textile chain. So the customer can know where what is made with this tee he's wearing.